Individual counseling is involving two people, which is the counselor and the client. It's also called one-on-one counseling or talk therapy. In this counseling session, it's focused on the individual immediate or near future concerns. For example, the client will express whatever comes in his mind and talk about their feelings. Thus, if a person getting negative thoughts about himself, the counselor will have to come out with negative pattern of talk and will know how to take out more information about the clients by making the clients comfortable enough to express their thoughts. However, individual counseling also is the to form an alliance, relationship or bond, enables trust and personal growth. Individual counseling is aimed at helping the client to cope with additional mental health trauma and with stress that can cause anxiety and depression. Lastly, the professional counselor or therapist can help the client on how to dealing with problem or any issues and trying to reduce it from happen again. The advantage of individual counseling is the client will learn problem solving skill and help the client to set personal goals and start working towards a desired change for healthier and happier life.
The benefits of individual counseling is inspire others to get the help they need, which when we tell people about our decision to go to therapy is a personal decision. We can choose to keep this information completely private, share it with a few people or share it with the world. If we decide to open up about therapy with even one person, there's a chance we could change a life. One of the barriers that often keep people from seeking mental health care is that they don't know anyone else who has, so they do not know what to expect. When we talk about our experiences, we may give someone the courage they need to get help. Next is physical health improve. Mental health struggles often cause stress and trouble sleeping, both of which have serious consequences for our physical health. As therapy helps improve our mental health, we may also notice a significant change in our stress levels and sleeping habits. These improvements can in turn cause other benefits to our physical health, including decreased blood pressure, less pain and tension, lower risk of suffering a heart attack or a stroke, and stronger immune system. Then, learn how to talk about hard things. Many people struggle to have discussions that may lead to negative feelings. Instead of opening up during these conversations, people may prefer to walk away or change the subject to something happier. Unfortunately, this tactic of avoiding hard conversations can lead to unresolved problems for a person's mental health. In order for therapy to work, we have to talk about some of the most challenging topics. We may have avoided these discussions for years. By opening up to therapists about these issues, we can learn to have difficult discussions in healthy ways. In addition, gain more empathy. Although therapist is a vital member of our team, they will not agree with us without a second thought. Instead, a great therapist challenges a person's thoughts and behavioral patterns. Often, they will have us look at a situation from another point of view. This change in perspective can help us develop more empathy for ourselves and others. For example, if we have negative thoughts about ourselves, Our therapist may challenge us to talk about ourselves the way we would talk about a dear friend. This can help us be more gentle and kind to ourselves.
Today, I will present about what counselor provide to the individual counseling. First is what the line between pushy and cuddling. Client need to know you accept them and respect their right to make their own decision. Neither cuddling your client nor being too insensitive to their red lines to open up will be productive. You must find the median line that intersects these two extremes. Being sensitive to where your client is at but know when to give the extra little encouragement to reveal more or to think deeper. Sometimes it's that push that helps the client arrive at their ultimate goals. Secondly is ask for clarification. Work hard to understand the client. Start with the idea you cannot know the client well without listening carefully. Ask what words mean. For example, ask the family means and who is there. Do not assume your idea of anything match. It's your job to assess the situation carefully and correctly. If you develop a misconception about your client's situation, you could complicate things for the client and impede progress towards your client goals. And the last one, what counselor provide to individual counseling is structure the session. Session will vary depending on the theory of counseling you are using. Some counselors use protocol with clear guidelines for what comes first, second, and so on. Others have less structure and the session unfold more through the client's story. Whether mapped with predetermined steps or more open-ended, counselors should be careful to create a beginning to settle into a deeper conversation, a middle in which the works is happening, and a summary of the season and plan for what is next. Thank you.
Tell you about the individual counseling. Firstly, the problem or issues of individual counseling is stress. Stress is the body's natural defense against predator or dangers. It causes the body to flood with hormones that prepare its system to evade or confront dangers. When individuals face a challenge or threat, they have a party physical response. The body produces largest quantity of the chemical cortisol. Okay, this trigger the following physical reaction can increase blood pressure, fatigue, muscle preparedness, and alertness. These factors all improve an individual's ability to respond to a potentially hazardous or challenging situation. Okay, next, behavioral mood change which is a depression. It causes feeling of sadness and or loss of interest in activity you once enjoy. It can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems and can decrease your ability to function at work and at time. Next, the symptoms can vary from mild to severe and can include feeling sad or having a depressed mood and loss of interest or pleasure in activity one enjoys and trouble sleeping or sleeping too much. Lastly, conflict in a relationship for individual is inevitable. She thought that their relationship was in a bad place and that they were perhaps even worse, doomed for divorce. Some the common type and cause of relationship conflicts include finance, insecurity, and lack of participation in responsibility. Relationship conflicts is often the result of a power differential that leaves one's partner feelings more dependent upon the others. That's all. Thank you.
Scale counselor also understand timing and can avoid the negative consequences of prescribing a particular intervention before the client is ready. Performing as a competent therapy is an ongoing process. It means that counselors are informed about evidence-based practice and that they stay abreast of new development. As such, it is through continued growth and education that counselors can provide the best available treatment for their client. My point is how to prevent problems in individual counseling. First point is skill, knowledge, and confidence. Counselors are expected to be skilled communicators who are knowledgeable of those aspects of mental health that relate to the development, relief, and solution of an individual. Emotional and other concerns which are associated with quality of life. Making the mistakes of administering treatment without adequate skill, knowledge, or confidence diminishes the client trust in the guidance being provided. Similarly, if a counselor comes across as nervous and lacking self-confidence, he or she has personal works to do before seeing client. A good counselor also has acquired adequate substantive knowledge and is confident about his or her theoretical approach. Losing sight of one theory is problematic as it may in advice that is not scientifically based. Second point is rapport building. Undergoing counseling is a difficult experience for most people as it often involves sharing deeply personal and distressing information. It takes time for a client to feel safe enough to open up, particularly when he or she has trust issues to begin with. Quality counseling means that the therapy does not make the mistakes of jumping in too quickly, but instead build rapport early on, taking adequate time to establish trust. Next, why the exact process of building rapport is dependent on the individual involved. Skilled counselor can gauge each client's degree of responsiveness at the beginnings of treatment. Building rapport in way that serve the inadequate needs of client is essential, as it enhances the client motivation to work with the therapy towards achieving his or her.
The goal of counseling is to resolve such emotional difficulties and make one a healthier self and to be less conflict internally. It makes them reflect on their inner self, to know who they are and what their actual goal in life. It helps them to have a clear vision of their own self